I'm not getting a live signal. Heidi,
We're
that's
live.
your cue.
We're live, baby girl. We're live.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Beautiful Book Geeks, where we're all dorks and like to pick on each other.
I love you too, Rebecca.
Sorry, I actually started this show off with a prank on Heidi. I can't prank her at the end anymore, so I prank her at the beginning because she can't stop me then.
That is
So
true.
I'm Rebekah Jonesy, the terrible one of this trio. And if you're watching us live, feel free to leave comments on our Facebook group or our YouTube chat thread. And if you are watching this later as a recording, then you will be happy to know that on the next episode, we should by then have ready a wonderful intro from the Godfather of Indies. So stay tuned to see what that sounds like.
It will be awesome.
All right. You guys want to introduce yourselves, or we're going to pretend everyone knows us already because we're so rich and famous?
We need no introduction. Oh. I'm Amanda Mabry, author, co-owner of Our Right Side, and I'm the good one.
Oh, that's not fair. Okay.
She's the one that lies the easiest.
I'm Heidi Angell, and I am a wordsmith, bibliomaniac, and lexicomaniac, meaning that I love everything to do with words and books. And I am not that kind of angel. I don't know how that fits into the good one and the bad one, but terrible one, I don't know. But yeah.
Naughty one.
No, you're the naughty one.
She's a moderate
You're
angel.
the naughty one. You just don't know when you're being naughty.
That's not fair. Sometimes I know. Sometimes the things I say get taken way out of context.
And sometimes when you say, hey, you should come over here and look at Rebecca's goodies, it's not that hard to take it out of context.
You know, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
Uh-huh.
I was talking about goodies like the cool things you're creating, but yeah, there was definitely a double entendre there. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know us yet, we actually all three work together as a part of Our Right Side. We're just three of an amazing team that are working together to produce books and make amazing bookish goodness.
And bizarrely enough, this has only been going on since the last episode.
Yeah, I know
because
that.
we have actually only worked together as a team for 1 month on that.
Yes, you've been on the board almost exactly a month. Yes, I'm so excited about it.
I think it was a month yesterday, but I don't remember. I'm not a wordsmith. No, numbersmith.
Yeah,
Apparently
I'm not a
wordsmith
numbersmith
either.
either. I don't celebrate anniversaries.
Wow.
I'm bad.
I actually meant math surgeon, so I'm really messing up today.
Woo, math surgeon. Look at you getting all fancy.
I'm going to put some tequila in my coffee and try sobering up.
Oh, no.
I'm a math surgeon. I can butcher some numbers.
See, that's the point. Surgeons aren't supposed to butcher.
They're supposed
I didn't
to
say a good one.
Oh, okay. Oh no, my coffee cup is empty.
How did that happen?
I don't know, but thank God I've got a second one right here at my desk.
There you go. That's how to do it.
It's that kind of day, y'all. I prepared by bringing 2 coffee carafes to my desk, and I've already gone through one.
Yeah, just to be sure.
I've only been at the desk for half an hour.
Yeah.
It's like a Monday on a Tuesday.
It's been a Monday for like the last 3 weeks, I swear.
Yeah, I was gonna say, every day's been Monday for a while now. Although I usually love Mondays, so I don't know what that says about me, but
Friday the 13th was still Friday the 13th. So.
Oh, did we have a Friday the 13th recently? I totally missed
that. Yeah, this past Friday.
I totally missed that. What was I doing that day? Oh,
It's approximately 4 days ago on the 13th.
wow. Yeah, I totally missed that was Friday the 13th. I'm not superstitious either. I'm just a little stitious.
Stitches with no cape.
Yeah, there you go. That was an Office reference for those who aren't old and don't like funny comedy shows.
Oh, you lame
I've
people.
never seen a single episode.
Me either.
So sad.
I tried to watch it the other night, actually, and I was just like, this really seems lame, and I didn't watch it anymore.
Oh,
You know, I could
you have
watch
to fall in love
one.
with Jim and Pam. Once you fall in love with Jim and Pam and get invested in their relationship, The Office is amazing.
If you invest enough time into watching this show, you will also come to like it.
Yes, we are definitely much funnier than The Office. And we talk about books, which everybody loves. So,
Yeah.
And we work in home offices, so we don't have to wear pants, which isn't relevant. I just wanted to point out that I wasn't wearing pants.
see how you are. I am.
And now you know why we do a podcast and not a YouTube show.
Fair enough.
Even though we're live on YouTube.
Y'all, seriously, I am wearing Superman pajama pants right now. And they are so dang cute on me. They've got the little muscle ripples and everything. It's adorable. But I can't show you because we do a podcast.
I got home and immediately took my pants off. So
I never put any on.
I'm just wearing my boxers.
There you go.
I have male teenage boys that randomly bring friends over, so I tend to not go pantsless often.
Oh, my kids are antisocial like me, so it's usually pretty okay.
I walk outside in my boxers.
Super social.
I have crashed
outside in your boxers. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, they're really big boxers, guys. They're guys' boxers. They're not women's boxers. They're guy boxers.
Right.
They get down to nearly my knees.
Yep.
And they are super comfy. Boxers? I started wearing boxers when I started doing yoga. And I'm like, fuck this shit. These things are comfy as hell. I'm keeping them.
Better than yoga pants.
And then I went out and I bought like 2-3 packs, you know, for $1. Because men's boxers, you know, in the packs, those things are cheap as hell. Fairly certain I did in fact actually get a 3-pack for $1 each.
Men's boxers cut me like right below the crotch. Like they cut a man actually. Because I'm so tall. But my butt doesn't fit in them, so they're always gaping, so I don't wear men's boxers. They don't make full-figured men's boxers.
Yeah, they do.
Not for my figure. No, they don't. Apparently,
your figure is just too tall.
Good butt.
I mean, you're just tall. You know,
but I always wear men's pants. I love wearing
short legs. Like my thighs are ridiculously short.
Yeah, and I'm all leg.
So that makes it really easy. Yeah.
I'm all leg too. As tall as I am, it's all in my legs. My torso is actually very short for my height. So, yeah, it's bad. I was that girl who wore, quote, knee-length shorts in high school and still got called into the principal's office because they weren't long enough. Because knee-length shorts on me were mid-thigh. Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, my thing was I would get in trouble for the same shirts anybody else could wear because of my boobs. So
I would get crap for that too.
Yeah, V-neck is fine on an A cup, but not on Amanda.
No.
Well, it is now because I'm the boss.
I actually used to get in trouble at my job for that shit. I'm like, what grade are you guys in? What is this?
Yeah, I used to get invited to work at Hooters. But I was in a restaurant job, so that made sense. But I never went because I was afraid I would kill people. Because I'm ornery like that. But yes, so we are beautiful, and we love to talk about books, and we're also geeks, hence the Superman pajama pants. All right, so today, actually, so the last couple of episodes, we've had guests on the show, authors, that are friends of ours, come and talk with us, and this week, we don't have a guest because Amanda is our guest. Do you want to tell them their awesome news, Amanda?
Woohoo! Amanda published her first book, finally.
First full book. You've been published before, This
Yes,
is just the first one that's just you.
yes, I've published in other anthologies and poetry collections and things like that, but this is the first project that is just Amanda's. Um, the first of many. So I'm really excited, and I'm excited about this. I wasn't going to publish Darker Days before Soul Purge because I was afraid of, you know how when you read certain authors, you get used to their voice and
Mhm.
what you expect. I have a deep love of fantasy, and I have a lot of fantasy works that I'm doing, but Darker Days is different. It's dark fiction, and I held off on publishing it because I didn't want that to set my tone. But then I realized I don't care. And you guys will figure out all of my voices eventually, anyways. And it's been sitting collecting dust. So I wanted to get that out there. And I am looking to do a lot more. This is going to be a continuous series with these fiction stories that touch on the types of
Macabre.
situations. Yeah. And not just macabre, but being a survivor of things, we're often we have that mantra of that we're survivors and not victims, and that's true. But the fact is, at one point, we were a victim, and that victim doesn't usually have as much of a voice as a survivor or as a not survivor, because and the point of Darker Days is really just to give a voice to that period of existing in these situations where you are the victim, and that is the voice that you're hearing. And I want to continue doing that, and I'm hoping that once Darker Days gains momentum, that I can use it as a tool to help other women and children in situations, whether it's
And men.
donating, and man, yeah, and men, whether it's donating funds to organizations that help or using the platform to raise awareness. I'm not sure yet, but my end goal for the Darker Days series is to help other people.
Yeah, I absolutely loved working on this project. I was the project manager, am the project manager, not was, am. And I actually first read several of the stories on Amanda's Patreon. And you're still going to be releasing each of those stories on your Patreon account, right?
I am. I've been a little slower this year because I've been a little overwhelmed. There's been a lot going on, but
Yeah.
this year's collection is seeming to take on a fairy tale theme, but still being realistic stories.
I'm very excited to see the next one.
Jesus, you do
Um,
some
do what?
serious, hardcore, awesome, realistic fairy tale stories, though. Amanda
Yeah, I
does.
just read Cinder Baby. Oh, that's a secret project for later.
No, it's
I was
not a
gonna
secret.
say
I actually have part one and part two on Patreon right now.
Oh, how did I miss that? Oh, did it come out in the new year?
Last, and it was out. It was last year, kind of snuck in.
How did I miss that? Well,
I
things
have
are
no
crazy.
clue because I'm not on her Patreon and I read it.
You need to be on her Patreon. Seriously, you guys, I love Amanda's Patreon. Um, and she and I both have been really slack with our Patreons this year. I shouldn't say slack. We have been so busy helping other authors produce their stuff and running around doing that and doing Beautiful Book Geeks with Rebekah and the 50 billion other things that we do that we have been really slack on our Patreons. But Amanda, her Patreon is so much fun. Not only does she do the monthly short story release, but then she gives teases for her other stuff. Um, and I'm really, really excited. I want
Yeah,
you to
and
get back
for
to
and for
see
our
Amanda
audience out
Patreon.
there, Heidi and Amanda are being very nice. What they won't say is they accidentally hired a bulldozer of a bitch to work with them, and she's been running them ragged ever since I started a month ago.
Oh, we were running ourselves ragged before we brought Rebekah in. She just helped flag our overwhelmed spirits, and she joined the bulldozing team. It's been awesome though, you guys. We've got an amazing lineup of books that we're publishing at our right
We
side.
do.
And this show's going to be talking about our books, but we won't always talk about our books. But um we we are doing some really awesome stuff. We're actually in the middle of well, at the tag end of Rebekah Amanda's
Hi.
tour. Um, for her Darker Daze, and you guys definitely should check that out. I
And then, of
did
course,
not include
David.
the link in the tour or in the description. I did include the link to buy the book, though. You guys should totally buy the book. It's absolutely awesome. But Rebekah will share the link in Facebook because you're watching the Facebook chat, right, Rebekah?
Yes.
Yeah. So Rebekah will share the link to the tour in the Facebook chat. But we've had some really, really cool stops on the tour so far. Amanda, what was your favorite so far?
What was my favorite? My favorite so far was the panel that I'm on tomorrow.
That's right. You're doing a panel tomorrow, short stories with Joe Compton?
Yes, my favorite person to
Getting
do
no
panels
love
with.
here.
We love Joe. Yes. So you're doing that one tomorrow. What time?
It's tomorrow night at I think it's at 10 tomorrow night.
10 Eastern?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, that's usually when he does his show. So everybody, y'all need to tune into that, and we will find the link to that and share that in the Facebook group
And
as well.
there was another fun stop on my tour where my Double D got paired up with JD Estrada's Banana.
Thank you.
You should probably check that out too.
Yeah,
You
that
want to
one
hear the
was
best
awesome.
part about that? You want to hear the best part about that?
What?
That wasn't even my idea. It was JD's.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
That does
He thought
kind
I
of
was being
surprise
perverted
me, though.
talking about Darker Daze, which I mean, yeah, sure. You know, let's be real. He had every reason to think that.
Yeah, we're really bad about abbreviating our books to save us time in our chats and stuff. So for Darker Daze, we always call it Double D.
Yeah.
It's DD. Yeah.
So am I.
Well, to be fair, we've been calling it DD until JD made that one comment, and I was like, I'm calling them Double D's from now on. I'm calling it Double D's from now on. It's Amanda's Double D's.
Amanda's Double D. It's so bad.
Been hearing that my whole life.
And then, of course, I had to pair that up with his double aught banana after that.
Of course, because
he didn't know what double aught meant either, and he didn't realize the joke in that.
Oh,
because it's hashtag double O, which means, $00 is double aught. And it's a measurement.
Poor Regine. She's like, of course I walk in and you guys are talking about wandering around in underwear. That's
Who
us,
said
baby.
that?
Regine Nabid.
Regine Nabid?
Probably.
Hello, dear.
I'm bad. I don't do names well.
He's just mad because I stole his boxers.
Yeah. But yeah, so I have to say my favorite stop was when we did a throwback to your YouTube channel when you read Bonita.
Oh, yeah.
And Amanda had blue hair, y'all. It was so cute.
Yep.
I missed my blue hair. That was great.
It was so cute. But yeah, so she did a live reading of Bonita back in 2016? No, it was 2017. It was the beginning of 2017.
Yeah, it was 2017. Really early.
Yeah. So that was really fun. And that's linked on the tour list.
Another thing. Go ahead.
I also really enjoyed, well, I shouldn't say enjoyed, but I really appreciated seeing your Art Imitates Life article. And
yes.
You got really personal about what inspired the series. And so that was really, it gave us a whole other insight into sweet little old Amanda. But it makes sense, you understand how she can come up with really, really dark stories. Like,
Amanda, what are you doing this time?
Dishes? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm multitasking over here because I have to work tonight. Piling dishes in the sink. Every story in that collection, it might be the tiniest thread, but there is something in there that was realistic. The first one, Sweet Release, I had actually found one of my old journals. So that story was actually built off of some of my old journals that kind of outlined some of the abuse that I was going through at the time. And I just really took it further. I'm one of those worst case scenario people where anytime something happens, my mind automatically goes to the worst way it could have ended. And that's basically sweet release is that's basically where I went with that. I took those journal entries and really just how far could this have gone?
And unfortunately, it's a very realistic ending that a lot of people experience.
Mhm.
Um, and with they don't get out, and that just breaks my heart.
Right,
But
and that's where I what I'd say that the purpose is to be a voice for victims versus survivors. That's what I mean.
right, but one of the things that I did love about, or do love about the whole series is that even though they're really sad, really dark, really scary, there's still this like inkling of hope in each of
Yeah.
the stories, whether that hope be of like sweet release, the hope of release, the hope of freedom, the hope of seeing the the
The
punishers
letter get out.
punished.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I really enjoyed the series, and I am very excited about the next one coming up.
One of the things that I'm hoping to maybe possibly do as the Darker Days series goes on, I am looking at TED Talks and how I could maybe participate and speak on surviving domestic violence. And right now, I'm actually working on my TED Talk speech right now, even though I don't really actually have anything to do with it, just in the hopes that maybe one day. And I am using a ugly sweater analogy to kind
Mhm.
of explain what it's like to be stuck in a toxic relationship and how that's like the ugly sweater that we get gifted from whoever and we wear it out of obligation for a person, society, our the way that we feel ourselves that we should. And then I talk about how in that situation hope is not a bonfire that you can throw the ugly sweater into, but rather it's a loose thread that you can tug at a little at a time until you unravel the sweater and you find underneath your favorite shirt, the one that's your choice that you identify with. And it's not fleshed out, but that's what I'm working on right now.
I like that. That is a good
I have
analogy.
goosebumps. Amanda's always giving me goosebumps.
I get that a lot. I'm just kidding, husband, if you're listening.
My husband's listening. She's not kidding there.
Oh, we're so bad. We're so bad.
But yeah, I'm hoping that Darker Days, because Darker Days has been a very good tool for me personally, because let me tell you, I have been through some shit. And most people that know after 30, Amanda, they don't know that I survived childhood abuse, that I survived 15 years in a violent marriage. They don't know that I literally packed up my kids in my car and ran away with $100 and drove my little car across the country to live in the basement of strangers. My kids had bedrooms. I paid for rent for them to have bedrooms. Worked 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week to get on my feet until I met my current husband. And writing Darker Days has been therapeutic for me. It is how I have worked through a lot of the stuff that I've been through. And that's why I want to build a platform on this series that would allow me to help other people because I know what it's like not just to be abused, but to be stuck in the abuse. And I think that's the element that gets overlooked a lot. Not just the abuse, being stuck. So,
Yeah, because frequently when you talk to abuse survivors, they all say the same thing. Everybody's like, why didn't you leave sooner? And it's not because they don't want to. It's because they can't.
Right.
And that can't, sometimes it's a financial situation, because when you're in an abusive relationship, part of the abuse is that the person controls everything in your life. They control your finances, they control what friends you have, they control who you can talk to. They
It's one
control
of the first things an abuser does. They remove all of your safety guards
Yes.
exactly.
first, and then
Exactly.
the abuse starts. And they make it
Yeah.
seem reasonable at the time.
Oh,
Oh, well, this person
sure.
isn't any good for you.
Yeah. This person's just trying to drive a wedge between us. If you love me, you'll stop talking to them. And at the time, you think you do love them. So you do what they ask. And sometimes it can even be more subtle. I get very nervous watching teenagers in relationships, because it's very normal for them to become so wrapped up in each other that they
Mhm.
let other relationships end. And it's one step from there to an abusive relationship. Hi, LF Oak. Everybody say hello to Lillian. She's in the comments.
Hi, Lillian.
Hello, my
Um,
lovely.
Another tool, if you will, um, is excuse me, playing on somebody's compassionate side. If you know me, you know that I am extremely empathetic and I'm a compassionate person. Not, I mean, that's just how I am. And one of my ex-husband's favorite tools was threatening to kill himself if I left. And that was a lot of guilt for my conscience until I really learned to understand that I am not in control of what other people do. And
Yeah,
whatever consequences he chose would not be my fault, no matter how many times he told me they would. And that was a
absolutely.
very, very, very hard concept for me to learn.
Yeah. And Lillian makes a great point in the chat. She says she couldn't leave because of the laws regarding child custody. If she'd left, then full custody would have gone to their father.
Yeah,
She would have
that's how
lost
it
her
is in a
kid.
lot of states. If you're the one who leaves, the person who stays gets the kids.
Yeah, and that was a very strong factor for me staying as long as I did until um, in 15 years I never called the police. I never asked for help.
Mm,
And the first time I did, the response was basically, you obviously don't need help if you haven't asked for it in the last 15 years, so we're not really that concerned. And then the younger officer that was with the older one told me that the way the laws in Florida work is when you're married, everything is 100% equal, meaning I could take my kids and leave. He could take my kids and leave. So
right.
I took my kids and left.
Yep.
That's another
And a
tactic
lot of
that
times that's
abusers use,
the yep, exactly. And they
so that
also
you
use
literally go running back to them just to save your children.
yep, exactly. Exactly. Or you end up on the run and have you and your children hunted,
Yep,
Yeah,
either by
because if
law
he catches you,
enforcement
he can
or
he can
by
take
the
them.
individual.
yeah. Thankfully, I was able to protect my location as long as I needed to, and I wouldn't say I'm not worried about it anymore. But honestly, he's not really in a position to look for me. I haven't seen him since the day I left, and that was it'll be 7 years in September.
Hmm.
So I
If anyone's wondering, it's not because I set him on fire.
no
Only because she
no.
doesn't know him.
It really
Yeah.
does turn out that I really was the thing in his life that was keeping him from spiraling out of control, and he spiraled out of control. But
Mila.
like I said, I've come to terms with the fact that his issues are not my issues. And I
Exactly.
just put everything I could into raising my kids so that they don't feel that absence. I never kept him from them, but he made that choice himself.
So Lillian said that She thought that it was ridiculous for the cops to act that way with you. They were really cool for her and checked on her occasionally until she left. And in a way, that's cool, but at the same time, it's almost worse when the people in authority don't
Yeah, because it can make the
can't
person
don't do
more paranoid.
anything. In my case, I was lucky. I just had a stalker. But that was one of the things that was so hard for me with my stalker is that even the teachers who said, "Hey, no, this isn't cool," even the school resource officer who was like, "Yeah, this is horrible. You need to be careful." They were still tied by the law. They couldn't do anything.
And at that point, that is where you either really sink into the despair of it that nobody can help you, or you really get into the, what, fuck it, nobody can help me. This is going to end badly either way, so I'm just going to do whatever I can. And that's what I did. Like I said, I came to Ohio to live with a lady I had never met. I met her online, and it was take my kids and go live with a stranger and take my chances, or stay here and I am most definitely going to be dead by the end of this month. And I took
Yep.
my chances on a stranger.
Yep. And unfortunately, a lot of women find themselves in that situation, or they find themselves without even a stranger looking at staying in a shelter. But the possibility of the danger and harm that could happen to their children in a shelter is still less of a concern for them than if they
Mhm.
stay in the relationship.
Right. And that's why I want to figure out what I can do to help. Not just like help a shelter, but help the ones that are stuck in that situation and they're scared and they don't have resources, and they're in that position that you get into when you're inside the box and you can't see anything out of it. There is always a way out, but you can't always see it, and I want to help people see that.
Right. Right.
I would like to take this moment to point out that abuse shelters for people who have been abused, male and female, one of the things they always need and are so useful and save so many lives is your old cell phone.
Yep.
So when you upgrade a cell phone, please everyone consider donating your old cell phone. If you've got old cell phones laying around, please consider donating those. You will seriously, you can save a life because that is a cell phone that is not under the control of the abuser. And a lot of times that's how they find their way out.
That makes
Yep.
sense. And there's lots of little things I'm discovering. Like I have a new friend on Facebook. Her name is Charlie Hester, and I found her kind of on accident. She liked something I posted on somebody else's page, and her name just caught my attention because that's my papaw's name. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she is this darling comedian. And one of the things that she does is at her shows, she collects tampons and pads, and she keeps a basket in her car. So she drives, to do shows here and there, cross country and whatnot. And she keeps this basket in her car. And after every show, she fills it with donated pads and tampons. And then when it's full, she donates it to whatever local women's shelter in the
Yep.
town city she's in.
Yep.
And it's a little thing, but it's all these little things that will add up to help people.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
that's one of the other things they're always in need of.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is opportunities for job placement, because that's one of the hardest things. A lot of times, abused individuals, they're kept out of the workplace, or at least their experience is limited, and so they don't have necessarily the skills to be able to work in a workplace. And then there's also the risk of the person who abused them finding them in that workplace, and a lot of
Mhm.
people are leery about hiring that.
Because
When I worked,
it's drama that could come in, and it could have workplace shootings. A lot of them tend to be like that.
yep, yep, that's exactly
Someone's
what it is.
abusive, partner or ex-partner comes in, and how dare you take my property? And
Yep.
Yeah, I know that an organization that focuses on helping women get into the workplace is, I believe it's called Dress for Success. Um, and they provide interview clothes, work clothes, and I believe some training.
Yep, they teach you how
That,
to do interviews, how to fill
yeah,
out a resume. Yep.
yeah, that's one of the organizations that I am looking into to put my support behind. So, yeah,
Oh,
it's a
thanks for
cause that I'm
reminding me,
quiet
Amanda.
about, but
Actually,
it's very,
I've got some work clothes I can donate. Not boxers.
yeah. But I'm really I'm happy to have it out there. I haven't, it's not something that I've talked about much in the past because honestly, I spent the last almost 7 years healing and recovering, and it's it's not always easy to talk about. It's not easy to look at people who think you're just this daily ball of sunshine and tell them that, you had to deal with
Ball of
a
sunshine was
knife.
forged in
Yeah.
hell. Yeah.
And, waking up to a knife at your throat or a gun at your head. And that was my reality for 15 years. And it clashes with the online persona that I currently have, but it is 75% of who I really am.
Yep. Going through that is hard. But I think that that's part of why you are so sunshiny and why you are so empathetic and passionate about helping people. And
Yeah.
so,
Residual heat.
despite how horrible what you experienced was, I'm glad it happened so that you can be that advocate and that voice. Just like, despite the horrible things that happened to me, which obviously weren't as bad as yours, but I'm glad that I experienced that because without that, I wouldn't be the advocate, the anti bully, the person standing up for people standing up for themselves. I would be the person saying, yeah, take it to the authorities, take it to the adults, and trust that they will know what's best. Sometimes adults don't. Sometimes the authorities, their hands are tied and they can't act. Sometimes, just like that older cop that dealt with you, they don't care. They don't realize the seriousness of the situation. I am
Right.
all about empowering people to take
And
responsibility for rescuing themselves. Be your own hero, be your own heroine.
right, but sometimes I'm going to latch on to something that you just said. When you just said to me what you went through was not as bad as what I went through, that is one of the obstacles that many abused women stand behind because somebody's got it worse. And
Absolutely. And just because
that
somebody
is
has it worse doesn't mean you need to stay. I'm
right.
definitely not saying that. Yeah,
Right.
I
No.
completely
I know you aren't saying that, but that is the attitude that a lot of abused women have. This could be worse. I can deal with this because so and so's got it worse. And there is no justification. Life is short. There is no reason to live it miserable. There's no justification, no doing it for the kids, no doing it for
absolutely.
obligation to religion, to law, whatever. Life is too short. It is. And
Absolutely.
yeah, so yeah, sorry. That was
Be your
my thought.
own hero. Be
Yeah.
your own heroine.
And if
Absolutely.
you can't be, email me and I'll do it for you.
There you go. There you
I'm
go.
really good at biting people's faces off, y'all. Just so you know.
She threatens it daily.
Only at work and other places.
Only when she's awake, guys.
Only when someone deserves it.
Oh, y'all. I hate to be that person, but this is kind of a perfect segue into the other book that we wanted to talk about.
Yes, face
This
biting.
No, not the face fighting. Being
Perfect
your
segue.
own hero. Um,
Not face biting.
and I didn't plan this segue either. That's why it's kind of funny. But we are actually publishing David Wiley's
Planned.
Monster Huntress. And it releases this Saturday. And that was actually one of the things that I loved about David's story too, is that she is her own heroine. Um,
Yep.
you know, and she actually saves the guy, which is always cool too. Um,
She actually saves two of them.
you're
Actually,
right.
repeatedly.
You're right. That is true. But yeah, she's totally her own heroine. And I absolutely
She
love
also saves the
Ava.
girl.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely love Ava. Um, and I got really excited after reading the book and getting to know David a little bit more. So David's actually been with Our Right Side since the beginning, right, Amanda?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Him and
he's been
Stephanie
there.
actually worked together prior to Our Right Side.
Yeah, he's been there way before I got there. And um this is the first time that I've really gotten to work with him um and getting to know him a little bit more and seeing he loves board games, y'all, which just sunk into my geeky little heart. And so, even though Rebecca is the one who is project managing Monster Huntress, I got so excited after reading it because, I love strong female characters.
She been
Um,
all up in y'all.
oh, yes. And I love board games, and my family loves board games. And so I decided to do a fun little contest. And this is my contest. This isn't Our Right Sides thing, but we have a thing going on in his event where if you invite a bunch of people to the event and we get at least 100 sales, then I am doing a raffle for Dungeon Roll, which is a
Which is
really
a
fun.
super rare, fun game.
It is. It is such a fun game. Um, it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it. It's a dice rolling game, which means it's fairly easy. Um, and you battle dragons in dice rolls. It's really fun. And it's nice because there's no I like it because I have two very competitive boys and there's no competition against each other so much. It's all about how you play your dice and you can't attack the other person and blah blah blah. So we've really enjoyed that one. And then if we hit 400 sales, I will be giving away a copy of Castle Panic, which is a really fun co-op beat the monsters game. So that one is really fun, and that is going through Saturday, the end of day. If we manage to get those sales right now, I believe I'm going to have to check the details. But while I'm checking the details, why don't you guys tell everybody what you love about Monster Huntress?
I like that it starts off with let's face it, she's a child. She's 13. And she's out playing with her friend and hunting and playing pretend. Because she wants to be a monster huntress when she grows up, just like her mama. And they run into a real world issue, and she doesn't panic. She doesn't freak. She sits down with her friend who is panicking, and she comes up with a plan of attack. And she carries it through, and she protects her village, even though the village elders don't believe her. She does what she knows is right, and she sticks to it. You know, I like people with a solid moral compass. Smart people with good morals. That's what I really like. So that first chapter just had me glued, and I was like, yeah, I'm doing this one. This is mine. Oh, the opening scene, the prologue, so devastating. Amanda? Amanda has muted herself for some reason.
I muted
That's
because
all I want.
all my devices were ringing and I was trying not to let it blow up in your
Awesome.
ear. um I in reference I haven't finished Monster Hunters, but David himself, one of my favorite things is watching his Facebook post because not only does he love these tabletop board games, but he loves playing them with his wife. And so I've watched like their gaming bonding, and they have a baby, and I can just see it now. I can just see them, raising that baby to be a tabletop board gamer. And he has got
Yeah.
a massive collection of games.
Yeah, I love that. We're actually doing a fun podcast on my channel, not podcast, a video um, thing on the 21st Sunday. Was that the 21st? I think. Um,
You
anyway,
don't know what month.
of April.
Okay. It's
Yeah,
in
it's
4 days,
coming
sweetheart.
up really soon. Shoot, we need to get on that. Anyway,
It's
there's a group
Saturday.
of fantasy writers. They're all gonna get together and we're gonna play a Dungeons and Dragons card game that he has. And we're gonna do it. We're in different locations all over the country. So we're gonna try and figure out how to do it online from different locations. I'm really excited to see how that plays out because I think that will be really cool.
Doesn't Joshua do that?
Is his different
See, we
locations? I thought they were
we
in the same
weren't gonna
location.
get through an entire episode. I actually checked the time. I was like 16 minutes. We've made our first
No,
first video without talking about Joshua Robertson.
I'm
Yes,
pretty
Joshua
sure
Robertson and Lillian Oak play online D&D.
Tella. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I know that we actually have a friend who disappeared from Facebook who was playing with him as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know they were doing that. Dang it. I need to watch more of his videos.
Yeah, if you follow like Lillian's Facebook
If you
statuses
stalk
in
him
regards to her
obsessively like
playing
I
is
do, you'll know these
hilarious.
things.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Lillian's.
I see them comment all the time on Facebook, but I haven't seen any of the videos of them playing.
I don't know.
When
I haven't seen a lot of videos, but the posts are hilarious. Lillian is hilarious. She cracks me up.
Lillian's hilarious, especially when she accidentally fried that villager.
Yes, yes. Yes, I do
Funny
get a kick out of
Lily.
seeing their
Sorry.
little comments. For some reason,
I
I
don't
thought
mean
that
to
was
laugh
just
at your
them
misery.
gaming with their kids, though. I didn't realize they were doing it online with a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, JC Boyd, I believe JC Boyd's in there.
Yeah, I think
Hopefully
so.
Lillian's still listening and she can correct me if I'm wrong. Hey Josh, are you there? You didn't correct us?
Nope. So
Let's
yeah,
have
just
him
so you
on one
guys
time.
know, right now, we're sitting at 10 sales for Monster Huntress. So we need to get at least 90 more by
Go
Saturday.
buy all the books, y'all.
So share it large and wide. And yeah, it's absolutely an amazing book. It's one of those books that I think everybody should read because one, it empowers women. Two, it empowers men. The Edge, I love Edge because he's this, I don't know how to describe it. Gentle soul. We'll go with that. And he's kind of her follower, but he comes into his own and he is who he is and it's okay while watching him come into his own as well. So, yeah, I'm excited about getting the paperback for my boys to read because they like physical books more than
A kid who never had any training
yes.
before his first sword fight.
Yeah.
Because after that he started training. And he figured out how to pay for his training on his own and everything.
And I just want to put in like a shameless plug here, okay? So when you purchase Monster Huntress or Darker Daze or any of these books that our right side is putting out, not only are you helping these authors' dreams come true of having their stories read, but you are also supporting a organization whose goal is to help these authors reach those goals when they have other obstacles, whether it's financial, time restraints. We have a beautiful, wonderful team that are busting their butts in the background, helping all these books come together. And that's what you're supporting. You're supporting these great authors, and you're supporting this awesome team at our right side. You're doing
Absolutely.
a lot of good with your book purchase.
Absolutely. Our team is amazing. We've got we're up to 20 now, right? And all of us are volunteers. And literally we get paid a very small percentage of the total book sales goes into bonus for the whole team.
Right.
So, yeah. But you know what? We can say that we are doing something that we absolutely love. And we really do pick the books that we pick based on the message that we feel that the book will share with the world. It's not about how well it'll sell. It's about messages. and it's
Right.
about building better communities through these books.
And it's about the authors too, because our right side, not that we're on this super high moral grounds, but we work with amazing human beings.
We really do. I absolutely adore all of our authors. They all have a heart
Yes.
and they
I
want
also
to.
adore our authors. No one's going to be surprised to find out that the reason I joined OWS is because I get to read all the submissions.
What,
I
Rebecca?
get
You
to
get
read
to read
all of the
stuff for free?
submissions and do edits, and I get to reread them, and I get to like watch these stories grow, and even
Yes,
better, I get to watch these authors grow. Oh my god, that is so amazing!
And do you know
absolutely.
how you people can get close to that amazing experience? You could join our Patreon account because Heidi and I and Joshua
So no
Robertson
shoulder
and
rubs.
Lillian, all of us that are doing these Patreon accounts, that is what we're letting you guys have too. We're letting you guys have those background peaks as we grow, as our stories grow, and we grow as writers. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
I did just want to clarify for those who are out there, Josh and Lillian aren't a part of our right side. They're just amazing authors that we absolutely adore and would love to have a part of our right side. But they're doing their own things. But we love supporting. We support authors even outside of our right side. Um,
I
Absolutely.
don't know
I mean,
about
we
that,
support more than in, but
Heidi. I mean, you guys think I'm a bulldozer? You see Josh and Lillian?
Oh, I know.
yes,
They
How would
are
we keep
killing
up
it.
with
I
them?
know, I know. I love, I
Like,
love all
even
the
if we
cons
did
they're going
nothing but
through.
edit their books, they'd still have us like running ragged all the time. They write so
That's
much.
true. That's
But
true.
what a beautiful way to be ragged,
It's
knowing their
true. It's
stories.
true. Tom
Very
Atwood
true.
actually was laughing at me the other day because I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm finally done with work. I'm gonna go sit back, relax, and read a book."
That's another one. I love Tom. That's another one of the indie authors out there
Tom
that I
Atwood? Oh yeah.
adore. Yes, adore Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always checking in on me because he knows I work too much. He's like, "I'm just checking in, seeing if you're okay."
But you know, it's
Yes.
easy to work too much when you love what you're doing, the work that you're doing,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
And it's because it's honestly it's hard to like tell yourself to stop.
It
I mean,
really
that's
is.
that's really what it is. And it's like like I said, I got finished working, which was editing, reading a ton of books, and I was like, I'm gonna go relax with a beta read from Joshua Robertson. Hell yeah!
I do not
Oh
find
God, it was
Robertson's
so good
books
too.
relaxing. I'm just saying. I love reading them, don't get me wrong. They're great
Because it's a
entertainment.
story about a jerk who I know is a jerk, and he gets jerked around and beat up, and I know he gets horribly wounded, and I'm really waiting for that part.
And like I said, I love his works. It's highly entertaining, but I don't find it relaxing.
Oh, I
It's
do.
it's escapist for sure. But you know, I that's the other thing, one of the reasons I would love to get Josh in and Lillian is that they do write great escapist fiction, but there's so many morals and lessons and
Mhm.
layers. Josh especially, he writes in so many layers. He's one of those that you can reread his books and get
And get a
different
new.
things out of them every single
Yep.
time.
Yep.
So even though it's fun and it's entertaining and there's this adventure that you're on, there's also all these layers. He's he's the fantasy author I want to be when I grow up, which is cute because he's like 5 years younger than me.
Oh
And
yeah,
that's
he's younger
like
than me too.
what he writes is like book club level. You know what I mean? Because it's those stories that really, when you get into book club, it's not going to be a lame question answer. It's going to be a very in depth conversation.
Mhm.
Exactly, exactly. And those are the kind of books that I really enjoy escaping with.
I told you guys how I totally geeked out on it, right?
Yes.
I
Yes,
mean,
but you didn't tell
I
our
went uber
audience.
geek. Okay, so I took Josh's books and I already read them all. Right, I had read everything he had written at that point. I knew that Highborn Longwalker was coming out, so I took all of the other books and I put them in chronological order by chapter, and I read them because each chapter starts with a date. So it's really easy to do. So I just opened up several instances on my computer and I read the story in chronological order. Like all 11 books.
And I bet that gives you a totally different view on it too, huh?
Oh my, it was wow. Like I had a completely dried out tongue and eyeballs because I'm sitting here just with my jaw hanging the majority of the time. Like I've already read these books. Some of these books I've even read twice already.
Right.
Right? But reading them in like straight chronological order. Whoa. And I got to the end of it the next day and I'm sitting there blinking and I was like, holy shit, when I realized how much time like in the world spans between those books in our world, when he wrote them, it's like
right.
he has them lined up like instance by instant. And it shows the progression of the world, not just, for the characters or from the characters, but how trade was impacted, how religion was impacted, how transportation was impacted.
Right. Yeah, Josh's
Wow.
work is
And it all makes sense. It's just, well, of course that's how it would happen once you've read it all. Oh, loved it so much.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
guess
I
he
almost broke
announced
my
it
eyeballs doing it.
Icon, so I can talk about his script project, right? Because he talked about it at Cycon.
Yeah, I think we're clear to talk about it.
Yeah. I am
He's
having
mentioned it a few times.
entirely too much fun working on the script treatment for Anarfal right now, which is super exciting. I look forward to them pitching that to someone like Netflix or whatever and turning that into not just Anarfel, but the whole series, because Anarfel is where the whole thing starts.
And it's funny that you say that. That's literally what I was thinking about while Rebekah was talking. And I was like, she was saying how she put the chapters in order.
That it's a movie for.
I'm like, oh, there's the episodes.
Wow.
Rebekah already put the episodes in order.
Yeah. It's well, but what I'm doing is I'm breaking each book apart into like a season. Is kind of the goal. And then yeah, I totally can see it being bigger than Game of Thrones, honestly.
I can't actually think of anything to compare it to. It's going to be such a level of epic when it gets made into either series of movies or a TV series. Because I mean, just the story of Elizabeth is like, whoa, wait, what?
Right?
Wow.
Yeah. So we're really excited about where that is going too.
And that concludes this month's segment of We Really Love Joshua Robertson.
It does feel like that. But no, we love all sorts of books. Josh just provides us lots of books.
Oh, Lillian, are you still there? Lillian, can I talk about your new book?
And of course, there's going to be like a 5-second delay. You know what though? It's 10:57 my time, so 12:57 yours.
Oh my goodness,
and we do have to start wrapping up.
Yeah, but her new series.
Are you excited about
y'all
it?
Don't understand.
She says, "Yeah, go ahead." She heard her name. You know what she's doing? I guarantee you, she's running around cleaning up and has this playing in the background. I do that all the time with some of my favorite podcasts.
That's actually how I know so much about Josh and Lillian, actually, because I have them playing in the background while I'm reading and working, and anything I hear while I'm reading gets stuck in my brain forever. But yeah, Lillian's got this new series. Yeah, lol, I heard my name. Yeah, Lillian has this new series coming out, The Voices of J. Dore, and she's giving me some sneak peeks at it.
I'm jealous. See,
And
Lillian, this is why you and Josh need to come work with us so I can get sneak peeks too.
she does world building just as well as Joshua,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't slaughter her characters willy-nilly either, so it's
It's
so
not as traumatic. Yeah.
it's not as traumatic a read, and they are always like upbeat. I mean, even when like the danger is real and the adventure is there and you're in the middle of it, she's got so much snark. Oh my god.
Yes. Yeah.
Natalia. But yeah, Natalia and her constant snark and the voices themselves, and they're like, yeah, we know she keeps screwing up, but she really amuses us, so we're gonna keep her. Like what?
That sounds about right. That's why we keep you, Rebecca. No. I'm just teasing. I am totally teasing. But I that's a great message, I think, because people are so afraid to mess up. And for
Yeah, it's
me,
not like she ever
that's
does it
how
on
you learn.
purpose. There's no malice in what she does. She's just,
Right, right.
she screws up.
But it's because she's driving forward and she's getting stuff done. Whereas like in society we're taught everything has to be perfect. Everything, we can't put our books out there until everything is perfectly polished and perfectly amazing because
And
we're
you're
so
you're not an
afraid.
actual winner until you've gotten approval from this person or that person or this stamp or that seal or yeah. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And the
And hers is
reality
like,
is
no, this doesn't make any sense. I'm going to do it this way. This is the way it should be. Why did that stupid Minotaur walk into my fairy circle anyway? Of course I did something to him.
yep, yep.
Still
But
not
and
actually sure what
having that
he did
freedom
to the Minotaur.
to learn from
Uh
what
huh.
you're
And
doing.
she does.
Exactly. So even though she's quote screwing up, she's really not. She's just learning by doing. And I
Well, I
think
mean,
that
no, some of them she's really screwing up.
well,
I
but she
mean,
learns from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
After a while, I mean, she really does have to like. She has to have it pointed out pretty blatantly.
Well, to be fair,
Natalia
so
does.
do most
Yeah,
kids.
so do most people. Yes. Yes.
But again, that's how they learn.
Mhm.
We have her laughing and crying, y'all. We did that. All right. It is after 11, so we're going to go ahead and wrap up the show.
My life is so weird. I just pulled a piece of bark out of my coffee cup.
That sounds about right.
Yep. Yep.
It's a
And
good
with
sized piece
that,
of bark too, and I don't know how that got there. I don't even have a bird. Daggone squirrels.
that's what it is. Yep. Hey, once again, we had to mention the squirrels, right? All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up the show because we've got a ton of awesome work to do for more books coming soon. Woohoo!
So
Do
I
we
guess
even
I'll go
talk about
first
those
this time.
yet?
Yes, Amanda, you go first.
I am Amanda Mabry, author, poetess, and doer of all things. Until next time, scribe happy and stay sassy.
And I am Heidi Angell, and you can find me at HeidiAngel.com. That's with 2 L's because I'm not that kind of angel. Until next time, keep reading.
And I'm Rebekah Jonesy, and you can find me all over the friggin' place because I'm everywhere now. Or you can just go to my blog, Rebekah Jonesy at Blogspot, or find me on Facebook. And read well and prosper. That's your cue, Heidi.